Morning, everyone. To begin with, yes, my voice is messed up right now. I sound like an angry frog. You will have to bear with me. But anyways, today we're going to be turning this piece of pinhead coral that is heat treated into a beautiful Hillsboro point. This is another coral Hillsboro that I made a while ago now. It added some Pasco County coral, some real pretty red, white, and blue color on it. And this one probably won't be quite as big per se, but it'll definitely be just as pretty. So we're gonna give it a shot here. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and trim all these small edges off. I want to try and make this one fairly efficient. I want to keep as much size as possible on this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and strip off all the bad edges that I know I'm gonna have to get rid of anyways. Yeah. And don't worry, it'll come together here in a little bit. Just trimming it out right now. Yeah. Just to get rid of some of them thin edges that ain't gonna do us no good anyways. Alright, off the bat, it seems pretty solid. We've got some pink, peach, a little bit of red in there. If you look close enough, you can see the coral grain in this piece of pinhead coral. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, swirling in there. Beautiful. We do have a bulb of percussion here that the initial spall, this whole chunk, was made with. There's also what appears to be another one here. I'm not sure where that came from, but we're gonna have to get rid of that too. So I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to take that off. And that first bulb is gone. I'm gonna try and take this other one off. Ooh. And we got some of it, but that bulb was pretty deep in there, so we got some more work to do there. All right, I'm gonna lock in and we're gonna go ahead and get started, okay? Look how beautiful that is. Like a light tan or yellow, fading into a real beautiful peach and red. You can see the coral grain in there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I can see it. Yeah. Knapping a piece of pinhead coral is usually a bit of a treat. Pinhead coral is a little more rare than your typical coral when it comes to agatized coral. All coral is considered kind of a rarer material, at least in the artifact world. There's plenty of coral to go around in the knapping communities, at least down south there is. If you live up north, yeah, it may be a little more difficult to get your hands on some because you can only get it from certain places in Florida and in very, very far south Georgia. It's the only place that the knappable agatized coral forms in this country. But pinhead coral has a much better grain to work with. It's a lot tighter. There's a lot less areas in between the coral grain that doesn't get turned into agate. So it's usually a lot more consistent in my opinion. That's pretty. A bullseye right there. And we're just going to take sequential flakes going down. Nice. Let's go ahead and meet it from the other side now. Yep. Pretty. Seems to be more red in the base. There's that initial boba percussion still there. That's about all of it though, so I think we're okay. Bam, big wide flake for you. Here. And then we'll bam, and then we'll bam. Sequential. Yes, sir. And don't worry, all I did was build a little convexity for the next round of flakes going on this face. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay. Then when I call it for that face, we're going to flip it and do the other side. Now this side's a little more flat than the other one was. It's going to be a little more difficult to start getting flakes to run better. We'll see what we can do with it. Take it from there. Man, that's pretty. I really like working coral. I've always loved fossils. I've always been fascinated in the ancient. And agatized coral, well, I mean, it used to be alive. It is a fossil, after all. And to me, to make a point out of a fossil is just, it's pretty cool, man. Alright, moving on. Yeah, this side is going to be the uglier side, I think. It's just, at least on this first pass, I don't, it just doesn't have the right convexity. The other side we worked first had natural convexity, just based off of its shape. There we go, that was not bad. We stalled out here in the middle in this little high spot, but, I mean, it reached, so I can meet it up if I need to, which I do. Yeah, I had to pinch that one, but that one carried and cleared that out, so we're blended back in now. So today is the Friday before the Ocala Silver River Knapping. The coral show is what we call it. That's usually where we stock up on our coral for the year. But I'm not able to make it this year. I got caught up at work. And I was going to try and go today because I was in Tampa working, but it ain't but an hour from Ocala in Florida. But I got sick, so I just drove back home. Work's been hellacious lately. But they've been keeping us busy, so whatever. It's all good. Okay. We got a bit of a natural high spot here. We're going to run back on the first surface, take some more sequential flakes. We did flatten out that top side. There's a little more work to do on it, but we'll get that here once the platforms present. Now that we have natural platforms going the opposite way, let's continue to work that way and flatten her on out. It's pretty hot today, comparatively speaking. It's about 80, 85 right now. And this time of year, it doesn't get that hot unless cold front's about to roll through and give us tornadoes and whatnot. So we'll probably be seeing severe weather in the next few days, if not tomorrow. Just part of living in the deep south. Springtime tornado season. Gotta love it. Shoot, the last good cold front we had a few tornadoes drop down. We had one of them, I watched it rotating. I watched the supercell rotate, and it swirled over us and dropped a tornado about 1,000 foot behind our neighborhood. So we barely got spared. But by God Almighty, we did. I'll tell you that much. Yes, sir. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and work this tip before we start getting too much mass on the tip. This spall is a dream to work. It's properly heat treated, at least the way I like it. It's like a 4 out of 5 heat treatment, I would say. Could you have done a little hotter? Yes, you definitely could have. But the the way that it's heat treated makes it easy to work, but you don't lose too much strength. And that's how I like to work mine. It's like a medium or medium well piece of agate. About the best way to describe it. You give it too much heat and it just becomes riddled with internal fractures and way too brittle to do anything with. It's just no good. But you keep it like this, where it's like, yeah, you probably could have cooked it a little hotter to make it a little smoother. But this is really perfect. I mean, this is what you want. It's not just gonna break apart on you because it's weak, but it's definitely not difficult to chip on at all. Yeah, that's a pretty good platform right here. Get this mass off. Yep, clear that off a little bit. Here we go. Beautiful. Just peeled it right off. That one should have ran a little bit more of that ridge, but it just stalled out. That's okay though, that doesn't really hurt us. Nice. Yeah, we're pretty flat now. I mean, that's getting there, man. That's pretty good. And you can tell this is nicer material because it's not taking me as long to chip it out. Good heat treated material, man. It's a game changer. A lot easier to chip on. Generally prettier colors too, for the most part. Though there is some coastal plains shirt that starts off as like a nice pretty blue color, and if you heat treat it, it'll just turn alabaster white, just bright white. And if you're lucky, you get varieties that have pink, purple, and red hues in them. But like this right here, this beautiful piece, just as a quick example, yeah. This is a wonderful piece of shirt, but it's in such an odd shape I can't really do much with it. But it's almost got like a grayish blue color to it, real high quality. You heat treat that, it just turns white. So it does lose some of the color. Jeez. Yeah, that's a good example of that deep dark blue. Almost like a chalcedony. Heat treat that. Turns white. Which is wild. You never expect it to do that, but it absolutely does. Ah, yes, and the springtime giant red wasps have come out. Fantastic. Gotta love that. I hate wasps so much. Alright, so we're very, very thin. We could go with direct percussion. If I had a smaller bopper, I would feel more comfortable, but the bopper that's underneath this size of mine, my kids have destroyed in their own little flint knapping endeavors. So, we're going to switch to indirect percussion. We're going to try and just take some opportunistic flakes to just kind of flatten it out further. There is a slight curve in this biface, so we're going to work on getting that out. I think once I'm done with this, I'll be cleaning out my giant fish tanks. They're a little overdue for a water change. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. Just a bunch of small flakes to kind of take some of the mass off. And then sand down on that. And then this other side will be ready to go. But before we do that, let's go ahead and finish taking off on this side. That was good. Yeah, that was okay. That was good. Good. Cleared that off of the base. Now we're going to work on the tip and meet it down in the middle. Well, oh yeah. I got a good spot here. The very tip of it doesn't have the right platform, so we're going to start just a little below it. But that tip on this side is actually thin enough. I don't really want to do any more to it, to be fair. Not anything crazy to it anyways. That was a nice skinny long flake, real skinny. Yeah, that's what I needed right there. Okay. Good. Yes, sir. Do this side, kind of meet up some of our flakes here. It's minimal work to do because it's pretty good as is. I mean, ooh, okay, I see a spot I need to meet up from the other side, because that's going to be an issue if I don't take care of it now. Yep. As all it needed was just a tiny flake to meet it in the middle. This is our stalled out flake from earlier, so we can't hit here. We're going to have to start from the base and meet it. But if we angle it right, all the flakes will meet, and it shouldn't be a problem with that stalled out flake. Yep. There, here goes. That was beautiful. Nice and clean. Now this high spot here is going to be difficult because this stall out that we had previously is going to stop it. However, if I strike on the platform low enough, so maybe not right on the tip, but a bit further down it should undercut it, and it should travel. from my experience. Or it could just completely stall out. But no, it undercut it, just like I thought it would. Yeah, I think I'm good with this platform, or this side for now. I mean, look at that. That's just gorgeous flaking. Flat, long flakes. I mean, man. And the rest of it will be taken care of with pressure flaking. Yeah. Well, actually, there's a little more to take off the tip and on the bottom here. Yeah. Okay. Bear with me. Oh yeah, that was gorgeous. Yes, sir. Alright, I'm gonna leave it at that. This one. Okay, that'll have to be done with pressure. That one took. And then I think I've got one more right above it. And then that'll be it. Should be it for percussion on that side. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna take one from the base. Well, maybe a couple from the base to kind of flatten it out. Oh, that did not go. That did. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's nice. Look at that side, dude. Look at that flaking. Come on. I mean, that's just gorgeous. I don't care who you are. All right. Enough of that. So I'm going to do a passive pressure flaking on this side. And then we're going to go ahead and re-smooth out the other side. Which the other side is flat. It's very flat. But it just, it has uglier flaking pattern on it because of the way that it was set. This one had a lot of convexity to begin with, so a lot of them are, fairly parallel. But this one, flat, but got a very random flaking pattern on it. Alrighty, pressure flaking pass, here we go. Yeah, I mean, and we did percussion, but there's still almost like a continuous platform going for pressure flaking because the edge is just, the platform is correct. The center line is perfect. We've got these little ridges in between our big percussion flakes to follow. Ooh, that's a big old wasp. Go away. Can't stand wasps. I'm actually allergic to them, so excuse my cowardice. Well, I got a call from the wifey, so we're gonna give this a pause here. We're gonna leave it as such. So I'll be back here shortly with a part 2. Thanks, guys.